everybody, and welcome to this quick tutorial on how to upload your boom cards that you've made on the Boom Learning website to your Teachers Pay Teachers store. If you're looking for boom cards and you just happen to have landed on this video, I do have lots of boom card sets in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. I'll link those down below so you can check them out. If you are brand new to boom cards, I'm not going to be going through exactly how to make the boom cards. I'm just showing you how to take the boom cards that have already been made that are in your Boom Learning store and transfer them over to a Teachers Pay Teachers store. If you have not started a Teachers Pay Teachers store, I wanted to just take a few moments to go through a few things with you. If you already have a Teachers Pay Teachers store set up, this might not be relevant information for you, but I just wanted to make sure I cover all the bases just in case you haven't started a store. If you have never opened a Teachers Pay Teachers store, you've only ever hosted your boom card decks on Boom Learning, that is a-okay. I just wanted to make sure that you know that first of all, when you upload your first product to Teachers Pay Teachers, it's going to have to be a freebie. So if you are planning on uploading a whole bunch of boom card decks to your Teachers Pay Teachers store, but none of them are free decks, you might want to start there first and create a freebie that you can offer to anybody visiting your store. That way they can see the quality of your work. So that's where the first thing you're going to want to do. Second thing is you're going to have to know that in order to sell your boom card decks, even just in general or on Teachers Pay Teachers, you have to pay the $35 membership to Boom Learning as a seller. That's the current price for it. If it ever changes, it might change. They could always change that $35 membership, but as of right now, it's $35. On Teachers Pay Teachers, you can have a free seller account where you don't get charged, where you don't have to pay any money to sell on their site, but they will take a higher percentage of commission on every sale that you make. I can't remember the exact percentages, but I think on the free account they take 55% commission. So if you're selling something for $3, they will take 55% of that $3 and you will get the rest. But also Boom Learning does also take a percentage of that as well. So you have to remember that whatever you're selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, Boom Cards gets commission, and so does Teachers Pay Teachers. That's also an important part of that. And you can upgrade to a TPT Pro membership. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but you can become a higher level membership on Teachers Pay Teachers, and they take a lesser percentage of all of your sales. But you do pay, as of right now, I think it's $60 a year for that. So if you are going to be taking your boom card journey seriously on Teachers Pay Teachers, you're going to have to pay for a membership on Teachers Pay Teachers and on boom cards for a yearly membership. I think altogether that would be, some quick math, $95. And so if you think that you can make back $95 in 1 year between Boom and Teachers Pay Teachers, then I would really go ahead and upgrade the membership right away so that you can start earning more on each of the products that you sell. So those are the two kind of things that I wanted to touch on about selling your boom cards on Teachers Pay Teachers. If you want to start your own Teachers Pay Teachers store and you're not sure where to go for making your logo, for making covers, for all of that, I do have a beginner's guide to starting your Teachers Pay Teachers journey. I will link that in the description for you so you can check that out, and that way you can really get started on selling on your Teachers Pay Teachers store. For today's video, what I'm really just going to focus on is how I have streamlined the process from getting my boom cards from Boom Learning onto Teachers Pay Teachers. I have streamlined this process and created templates so that it doesn't take me a lot of time to get my boom cards from Boom Learning to Teachers Pay Teachers. This is one of the things that I see a lot on Facebook Boom Learning sites, that teacher sellers or people who are creating boom cards are just getting overwhelmed with the process of taking their boom cards from Boom Learning and putting them onto Teachers Pay Teachers because they're saying it takes so long. And I know that I have streamlined the process so much that it doesn't take me that much extra time now to get them from one platform to the other. It really just takes me maybe a half an hour. So the first time that you're going to be doing it, you're going to be creating the templates and making sure everything is there so that the first time you do it, it is going to take you a little bit more time. But the more you do it, the less time it's going to take because all the templates are going to be set up and all you have to do is do it again for your next product. So that's the first thing I want to show you is how I create all my templates. I do them all in Canva. If you use PowerPoint, you can do the same thing. You can set up all your templates in Canva and just reuse them for your next product. But because I love using Canva, I'm very used to the platform. I think that Canva is just the best place to do all of this. So what I'm first going to do, I am going to go to my Canva website, and I don't know if you know this, if you use Canva, you can actually create folders, and I created a boom cards folder. This just makes my life so much easier because all of the boom card things that I need are right here directly accessible to me, so that I don't have to be looking through all of my designs trying to find all of the different things that I create for boom cards. So the first thing that I always do is, of course, create the cover image that I'm going to use in Boom Learning. So that is what it looks like when I upload it to my Boom Learning website. I have that same template that I use for consistency in my store across all of my Boom cards. That is the one that you are going to be uploading here to the Boom Card Learning website. I keep it really simple. I put the title of it and I put what kind of activity it is, and that's it. When I create my my images for Teachers Pay Teachers, I create them differently because there are so many different resources on Teachers Pay Teachers. You need to make it apparent right away that it is a Boom card resource, because when people are searching on boom cards, they know they're getting boom cards. When they're searching on Teachers Pay Teachers, they might not know what they're looking at exactly. It could be digital task cards in PowerPoint, or a Google resource, or a PDF resource. You have to make sure that you're telling them right off the bat that it is a boom card set. So that is the first thing I always start with when I'm going to transfer my things over to Teachers Pay Teachers. I start with my preview. And so I come to the one that I've already created. This is a template that I created ages ago with my first boom card set, and I've reused it every time. So to make my new set of boom cards for my Where is the Cat activity, I'm gonna make a copy of this one. And I always name it, like you'll see when I go into it, I'll show you. I always name it upload and preview so that I know the difference between the two. So right now it's called Match the Letter Literacy Activity Preview. I'm going to change it to, I don't even remember the name of this one. Where is the Cat? So where is the cat? And then it could be whatever literacy activity preview. Make sure you're putting that on there so that when you go to upload these different things, you know what the files are because you're naming them properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, this is going to be my cover image. So I like to repurpose my content. If I'm creating a cover image to use in my preview, I might as well use the same cover image as my cover image on for my thumbnails and on my product listing on Teachers Pay Teachers. So the first thing, I'm just gonna, where is the cat? And then I just play around. I might speed up the process of making the cover image just so you can see the process, but you don't have to watch me mess around for too long. So as I go along and I create each of my preview images, so I just downloaded the first page of this Canva template, and I downloaded just the first page as an image so that I can use that as my cover image on Teachers Pay Teachers. The cover image clearly tells us that it's boom cards. Very important because, again, teachers are looking through a lot of different kinds of resources on Teachers Pay Teachers, so you want to make it clear that they're downloading boom cards, because you don't want them downloading something they don't know what it is and then they open it and then it's not what they thought it was going to be, because that's when you're going to start getting complaints. So make it abundantly clear that they're downloading boom cards. I also make sure that I put a iPad or something on the background just so that they know that they're digital. And then I always just change the number on here. So because it's a template, that didn't take me very long to create a cover image for Teachers Pay Teachers. And they will all be consistent branding. So whenever somebody sees a cover image that looks like this, they'll know it's one of my products, and they know that what they're getting is from me. So I like to keep it consistent in that way. So now that I've done the cover image, I'm going to keep going in my preview, and I'm going to fill in each page of the preview templates that I've already created, and I'm just reusing the same template, but just making it match this new resource. So here it says letter matching. That is not what this activity is about. It's about positional words. And then I'm going to pick one of the images. I created all of my slides for Boom in PowerPoint. So when I downloaded the images in PowerPoint to put into Boom, I just keep those same images and I just use them for my previews. So I just downloaded the ones that I was using on Boom anyways. So positional words, they're going to select the cat according to the positional word. So here I just quickly changed over what it is, quickly changed over the explanation, and then I don't have to change anything at the bottom because I always keep those the same. Now we're going to go, oh, and then I'm going to download this one again as an image, just page 2, because you get a cover image. So the one that we already downloaded, page 1, that's my cover image. This is going to be my first thumbnail image. So in case they don't go into the preview that you're going to make for your product, they can easily see what it is just by the thumbnail images as well. And then easy to complete, audio instructions. So I can even just keep the same thing because I did keep audio instructions that were included on each task card. So really, I could just replace the image that's here. And then I usually have a hand signifying where they can click. And so I just put the hand over where the audio instructions would be included on each task card so that the teachers who are looking at my preview know that you would just have to click on the audio instructions, and it just highlights the fact, because this is a kindergarten resource, a lot of teachers do want the audio instructions. If that is not something that would be pertinent to your field, maybe you highlight something else that is important for your resource. Again, I don't have to switch anything down here because I've used that same thing for everything. And then beginning sounds. This is not about beginning sounds. I'm going to say that interactive, because students can drag and drop the cat according to the positional word. So that is another one that is part of my resource. Sorry, I'm talking and I'm clicking at the same time. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. And so I will make sure that I highlight the fact that some of the activities on the cards involves moving the cat around on the task card, so it's also interactive. So we're talking about positional words. I've got that it's easy to complete because it has audio instructions. And I'm also talking about how students can drag and drop the cat in order to have the interactive element. So now I'm going to download I forgot to download page 3. I want to make sure I download page 3 just because that's going to be another thumbnail that I use. So I'm going to download it. This just makes it easier when you go to download all your resources in Teachers Pay Teachers. And then I did this one so I can download page 4, and that's the number. I need a cover image and 3 thumbnails, so I just need the first 4 pages of my preview in order to have everything ready to upload to Teachers Pay Teachers. So that is ready to go. Now we go on to page 5, and also it self-corrects. Students will find out right away if they got the answer right or wrong, and that's true. That's part of the Teachers Pay Teacher, the Boom Card platform, is that they will be able to find out if they're right or wrong. So again, I'm just switching out and using the same elements that I've already used for this template, and I'm just switching it out to match this new resource that I've created. So perfect. And now I always add at the end a see it in action slide. So you can click on the image to try out the first 4 cards. And so I will just go and find the image that I used as the, here it is, it's still in my downloads. I will use the image that I used in the Boom Learning website just to differentiate it from the thumbnail that I used in Teachers Pay Teachers. And then I just slide it. This is why I love Canva. You can just slide images over and replace them. And then you can also add a link. So in here, what you're going to want to do, I have not listed this yet. So what I'm going to do is publish it to the store. This boom card set is ready to go. I'm going to publish it to the store. Make sure I've checked off list and other marketplace, TBT, and then you're going to want to find the preview URL. Make sure you're using the preview URL in this, and I just copy that over, and I come over here and I change out the link. Make sure you're obviously changing out the link for every new resource that you're making. You don't want them to be going to the preview of a different resource. And that's it. That is my preview done for Teachers Pay Teachers. All I need to do now is download it as a PDF. It downloads all 6 images and puts them together in a flattened PDF for me, so I don't have to worry about flattening and securing it and all that kind of stuff. It's ready to go. And there we go. We have our preview. Now that we have our preview, oh, it even pops up so I can show you. And now that we have our preview, we also need to have a different document for when teachers buy the boom card set on your TPT site. They need an upload document, so something that they're going to click on to actually get the boom cards. So that again is where this comes in. I'm going to refresh the page so that you can see that this is the newest set that I just created. So it hasn't switched the image yet, but where is the cat literacy activity preview? I now need the upload one. So I'm going to make a copy of one that I've already made. So just make a copy. It just copies over the template that you've already used. And you're going to see this is why this is the easiest, just to make your templates and then always come back to them. So where is the cat? And again, I'm making sure that this one says upload, so I know the difference between the PDF document that's my preview and my upload, because that's super important. And then again, I don't want to start switching out all these elements to make the same cover image. What I do is I go back and I upload in my downloads folder the thumbnail that I'm going to use, and all I have to do is drag and drop, and now I have my cover image there. Another part that's great, my terms of use. I wrote these up one time. I don't have to rewrite them. They're already there. Keep going. I always include a connect with me page. That way, if they want to find more resources, they like this set of boom cards, they can come and find me in my different places. And now this is the last page. This is the page that is the most important. This is going to be the one where they click on it to actually get the boom card set to their boom library. So what you want to do, again, make it so easy for yourself. This has already been uploaded. I switch it into here, and then you come back to your boom card set and the secret TPT URL. You want to copy and paste that one and bring it over here and use that as your link. Apply, and then all you need to do is download this one as a PDF, and you've got your upload document that you can use in TPT. How long did that take me? Not very long, and I've got my preview done, I have my cover image done, I have my thumbnails done, and I have my upload document done and ready to go. So easy, and it creates consistent content across all of your platforms. It creates consistent content across your store. It's just such a great way to create content. And now you can see it's left that clickable link over here that buyers can click on to get the boom card set uploaded to their library. So now I have all of those ready to go. I'm ready to go upload it to Teachers Pay Teachers. Now again, we want to make this as simple as possible for ourselves. I already have boom card packs in my store. So what I'm going to do is use those as the template again for uploading a new set of boom cards. So this might take you, again, the first time you do this, you're going to have to go through all the steps, but then subsequently afterwards, you won't have to do those steps anymore. So once you create your templates, you can just keep reusing the same one. So if you have a boom card store and you already have 20 boom cards in your store and it feels so overwhelming to have to transfer those 20 boom cards over to a Teachers Pay Teachers store, this is where you're going to do it the first time, and then every time you do for the 19 other ones, it's going to be so quick for you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my product listings. There might be other ways to do this. This is how I always do it. And then you're just going to wait for it to load. Apparently my internet's being a little bit slow today. And then you're going to go and find a boom card set. So I have a lot of other products in my store. What you want to do is find another boom card set and go to quick edit. And then over here it says create a similar listing. So it's going to pull all of the information that you used for your previous boom card set to make a new boom card set, and you're just switching out the information without having to retype everything, without ever having to find all of the info. So I go over here. Where is the cat? Positional words, activity, digital task cards with boom cards. Again, I always make sure I put boom cards in my thumbnail, in my description, in my title, everywhere it says boom cards, because I don't, again, want somebody to be surprised when they buy the set and it turns up that it's boom cards and they thought it was a Google Slides product. So making sure that you're putting boom cards there not only make sure that the buyer is buying what they actually want, but it also protects you from them coming back and saying, hey, why didn't you say somewhere that this was boom cards? This is not what I thought I was buying. So it's protecting yourself as well as making sure that buyers are actually buying what they need. So now all I have to do, I always keep the same blurb at the beginning. This is my snippet. This is where when people are or teachers or buyers are scrolling through the search menu, the search results, they will see the first, I think, 300 characters or 200 or 300 characters. So you want to make sure those first 200, 300 characters are really showing them or telling them what this product is about. So want to incorporate more technology into your kindergarten literacy centers. I would change this if it was math. I would change this if it was science, something like that. But right now it's still literacy centers. These 27, I don't think this set is 27, it's 25. So again, I just need to change that. These 25 digital task cards. So if they're looking for digital activities, if they're looking for task cards, if they're looking for kindergarten literacy centers, I'm hitting on all those keywords that they might be searching in their product in their search bar. Are great for reviewing, and they're not reviewing letter recognition. They're reviewing positional words. And I like to bold those to really make sure that they're seeing what these task cards are about. Positional words, and then I hit on a few other when I was writing my description for boom cards. I hit on some other spatial language, preposition. So those were other things that I was seeing. I did a quick search in Boom Learning before I made my product description. I did a quick search for positional words in the Boom Learning search bar to see what other things popped up when I searched positional words. And I saw that a lot of came up with prepositions. I saw a lot of cards that came up with the spatial language. So do a little bit of research, find out what other people are searching for as well, just to make sure that you're really hitting on those keywords that you need so that you come up with the search. I'm talking and typing at the same time, and I did not type the right one. So are great for reviewing positional words and prepositions. Again, not spelling it correctly. There we go. Reinforce. And now I'm going to use another one, spatial language. So different teachers might call it different things when they're searching. So they might be calling it positional words. They might be calling it prepositions. They might be calling it spatial language. You want to make sure that you're hitting on all of those different ways that teachers could be searching for your resource in Teachers Pay Teachers. So reinforce spatial language with these task cards. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit more about the activity that, and this is where I really go into the description of the activity. So this is the part that is going to change. Reinforce 3 different activities. And so what I've already written a description in Boom Learning. So what I usually do is I copy and paste it over. It's not going to match the same thing because I've already said reinforced spatial language. I'm not going to say reinforced spatial words. I'm going to take that out. And then what I'm going to do is take off these task cards with these 3 different activities. Students will match the cat to the position word, and it is these. So I'm going to put back the task cards. These task cards are a great introduction to prepositions or spatial language. And then again, this set is great for back to school time and has audio clips for students who cannot read the words yet. I would actually probably bold audio clips. This is a big selling point for Boom cards for kindergarten students. A lot of them can't read the words on the page of the task card. So if you have audio clips, make sure you're telling the buyers that that's what you has. And then there are written and audio instructions for students included on all the instruction cards, because I have 3 different activities, so I have 3 different instruction cards. Perfect. And then this blurb always stays the same. They are self-correcting, paperless, digital, and easy to use. I keep that same little blurb in all of my Boom card sets. I need more literacy activities. I have other Boom card sets that are linked. If I was creating a different literacy, like if I was creating a math Boom card set, I would probably have created a similar listing of a math Boom card set so that this would kind of be the same. You can change these out. I'm going to keep them the same because I do not have, if I had other prepositions or positional word Boom cards, I would link them here, but I don't really. So I'm just going to keep it linked to the Boom card sets for literacy activities I already have. And then this is the blurb that Boom cards has asked us to put in for every single one of our Boom card sets. They've said to include this blurb, so I do. And then I always have a little blurb that they can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, go to my blog, or just take a look at my Pinterest. So I'm going to stop talking for a second and I'm going to really read it back over again and make sure that I didn't make any mistakes, because as I'm talking and typing, sometimes it doesn't always make a lot of sense. And then I will be right back after I do a quick review of this description and I'll talk about how I do the rest. All right, so now that I've gone back and edited through my description, I am going to move on. So I always suggest writing your description and coming back to it again and rereading it, because we all make mistakes when we're quickly typing, and we want to make sure it makes sense to when buyers are going to buy a resource and they're reading their description. If there is lots of errors, or you're repeating the same information too many times, or if it just doesn't make sense, they're not going to want to buy a resource from you, because then they won't trust you to have made a good resource. So your description is key and very important. So take your time and really read through that a few times to make sure you've written it properly. Sometimes what I do is I write it, I put my resource out to Teachers Pay Teachers, and what I'll do is I'll go back the next day and reread the description again, just to make sure, because sometimes when I reread it at the same day, I don't always catch the mistakes that I did. So I'll go back the next day and reread it again. But we've got our title, we've got our description. Next, we have to upload the files. And again, remember when I said to name it upload and preview? This is why, because now I know that this is the upload one. This is my product file. And over here, I want to have a preview file. I'm going to pause a moment and talk about my video preview. I always upload a preview video as well. I don't necessarily do it at the same time that I'm uploading the product. What I'll do is I'll take my iPad and I'll screen record on my iPad playing through the deck of cards, and then I'll use just iMovie to speed it up and take off the sound, and I'll just put it in the video preview. That way, if you really want to give your buyers a chance to take a look at the boom cards and really give them a sense of what it does. Doing a quick video playthrough of your boom cards is a great way for them to see what your boom card deck is all about. We do not want to use the auto-generated thumbnails from the product file. We're going to upload our own thumbnails. We're going to go to the main cover. And remember when we were saving those image files while we were making our preview, this is where it comes in. They're all ready to go. So I just upload the the main cover image and then the 3 thumbnails, and it's great. That way you're done. It showcases your product. It's really just a really quick way to transfer your images over. And then your price. I always set the price to be the same as boom cards. You don't want to have boom cards be more expensive or teachers pay teachers be more expensive. It's going to be the same. So if it's 200 points on boom card, it's going to be $2 on teachers pay teachers. If it's 300 points on boom cards, it's going to be $3 on teachers pay teachers. Keep it consistent. I don't ever touch the multiple licenses price, and this isn't a bundle, so we don't need to discount it. If this is your first time uploading a resource and you need to make it a free product, you would just check off the free resource here. If you're doing a free resource, I should also mention that you don't need to make a preview for a free resource. So that's just one step you don't have to do because they're downloading the product anyways. You don't need to make a preview for it. Next, the tax code I'll just show you. Other digital good, no physical media. And now the categories for the grade level. Because I copied over what was done previously, I don't have to do all this, but I'm just going to talk to you about it. You're going to want to pick 2 or 3 grade level categories. You don't want to make it too broad. You really want to make it more specific. My products are always geared towards kindergarten, so I always pick pre-K just in case you have some different age groupings. Because I live in Ontario, Canada, kindergarten age is much different in kindergarten here than it is, let's say, in the States or in England or in Australia. We don't always have the same age groupings for kindergarten, and kindergarten can be used to mean a lot of different age groups. So I usually pick pre-K as well and first grade, just because that can cover a wide range of age groups, and that's in kindergarten here, we do have a wide range of age groups in our kindergarten classrooms. So that's why I pick 3. Make sure you are picking ones that are only relevant to your resource. Subject areas. So here again, make sure you are picking subject areas that really match what your boom cards are about. This picked from the previous boom card deck that I had uploaded. So phonics would have been for my previous one, but it's no longer phonics. English language arts and back to school still is great because even though I would never use Pete the cat in any of my products, either in the description, either in the title. I would never use Pete the cat looking clip art because Pete the cat is trademarked. It is not my intellectual property, so I will not be using Pete the cat. But that cat had his school shoes on, and at the beginning of the year, a lot of teachers read about Pete the cat and his school shoes, so that connection could be made. I'm not going to make that connection, but in case a teacher wants to make that connection, they can. So I'm going to keep this one for back to school, and then I'm going to look to see if there's any other things that match what my resource is about. I'm not going to put it into categories or subject areas that do not match my resource. That is not helpful to me. It is not helpful to buyers looking for my resource, and it'll just hurt you in the long run. So really only pick categories that really match what you're doing. So I could probably put vocabulary because it's positional words. I'm learning about new vocabulary, so I'll probably pick vocabulary. You can pick up to 3 subject areas. Then the resource type, internet activities, because it's boom cards, internet, and task cards. And then I'm putting literacy center idea, but you can go through and decide, maybe it's a math idea, maybe it's science, whatever it is, you can go into here. And then custom categories. These are categories that you create for yourself in your store. They come up on the left-hand side. I specifically made a boom cards category, and I would highly suggest that you do. And then it's also part of my literacy activity category. Over here, education standards. If you know how to tag the education standards for the Common Core or the Next Gen Science standards or text or whatever it is, make sure you tag them. I would have to do a lot more research into these because we don't use them in Canada before I would use them. But if you know them, tag them because they're very useful. I think this only pops up if you live in Canada. If you live in Canada, you would check off appropriate for Canada. I don't know how long the teaching duration is, but then I do put how many task cards, even though I've mentioned it, I do put it there again. And then I attest that I have used copyright or trademark materials in my product, and I have tagged the creators of this boom card set in boom card. So when I uploaded it, when I did over here, acknowledgements, I acknowledge the clip art creator and the font maker in my acknowledgements. And then of course you want to make the product active and then just create the product. So I don't know how long I've been talking on here for. I can take a look at how long this video is, but however long I've been talking to you, I have been talking and doing all this at the same time, and I've uploaded all of this over to Teachers Pay Teachers. So I could probably cut the time in half if I wasn't showing you the process of this. And so just keep that in mind, like how quickly I was able to do that using templates and reusing information that I've already had before. And now we have it ready to go. It's on a Teachers Pay Teachers site. You're reaching a far greater audience on Teachers Pay Teachers than you are just on Boom Cards alone. Boom Cards has an audience. People do buy on Boom Cards. Teachers are searching for Boom Cards on the Boom Cards website. But think about how many more teachers are searching on Teachers Pay Teachers, how many people are already used to going to searching on that platform. And there is just such a greater range of teachers that you can reach by uploading your boom cards to Teachers Pay Teachers. It's I would highly suggest doing it. Also, I wanted to mention, and this is just something that I've also noticed in a lot of boom card groups and Teachers Pay Teachers groups on Facebook, is that sellers will talk about how on boom cards, like you can make sales right away with your boom cards, right? Because of the way the search works on boom cards, the newest products tend to show up first. So if you upload a product, chances are you can sell it the next day because it shows up really high in the search results page. So know that on boom cards you can see sales like right away with products. On Teachers Pay Teachers it takes a little bit more time because of the way the search works on Teachers Pay Teachers. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind when you're putting your products on Teachers Pay Teachers. There is an opportunity to make a far greater amount of money, but it is a long-term game. It is not going to happen overnight the way it kind of does on boom cards. So it's just a different audience and a different timeline, I would say, in order to be found on Teachers Pay Teachers. But once you are found on Teachers Pay Teachers, like you can get consistent customers that come back again and again looking for your boom cards, and that's why those custom categories really make sense. And I'll show you them again in a second just so I can make sure you see that. But one thing I do is I always test my links after I have uploaded a product. So I'll download the preview again right from my product listing to make sure that it has been uploaded properly, because I don't want to have uploaded, let's say, the resource file in the preview and then they're just able to get the boom card deck. So I always make sure, yep, this is the preview that they can play through. Perfect. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to download the actual file from my product listing. And it's going to open up for me and I'm going to click on it and I'm going to make sure that it actually goes to because I don't want them going to the preview because they bought it and they'll get upset with me. I don't want that. So then you'll go, yeah, that's me. And then it'll say successful test. Authors cannot redeem their own promos, but your URL is well formed. That way I know I have put the right URL in that upload file. Perfect. It is ready to go. And just one last thing, I am going to show you the custom categories part over here where you can see that all my boom card decks go into one place. So I have boom cards. You can also see that I promoted my boom cards up here with distance learning this past March, like blowing up, and there being so many people that were looking for boom cards. I made sure to highlight the fact that I have boom cards, and if you click on this, it actually goes to my custom category of boom cards where they're all listed. So if you're coming back and looking for boom cards from me, you can find them all in one place. And again, they look consistent, they look the same, so that way my buyers know that they're from me and it's my branding across the board. And so that's just an easy way to make sure that all of your boom card sets are going into one place if you have multiple types of products. If you're only selling boom cards in your Teachers Pay Teacher store, then I would break down the boom cards. So have literacy boom cards, math boom cards, science boom cards, whatever, social studies boom cards, whatever your boom cards are, I would subcategorize them if you are solely selling boom cards on Teachers Pay Teachers. And so those are all my tips and tricks for really quickly and easily transferring your boom card decks from Boom Learning website over to Teachers Pay Teachers. I hope that you got some really quick little tips and tricks for you to use. And I just wanted to make note that all of the things that I showed you today, all of the images, the branding, everything that I am using, like the templates for my my covers and things, those are things that I've created myself. Make sure that you're creating your own. Don't just copy what I have done and make it and put your own branding and your own images on it. Make sure you're creating your own. You want to stand out to buyers, and if you look like somebody else's products, you're not going to be able to stand out. You really want to make sure that you are creating your own and really creating your own brand. And when you're first creating your templates and you want to make sure that they are looking good, just make sure you play around with it. The first time you do it again, it's going to take you a while to really find what you want your branding to look like, what you want your templates to look like, and that's okay. Take your time that first time so that way you really like it and you don't have to go back and redo everything in the future. What you can do is just keep reusing those templates and making your life so much easier. So if you liked this video, please make sure that you go and check out the links that I mentioned down below. I have my guide for starting your own Teachers Pay Teachers store, a beginner's guide, and I will also be uploading a checklist on uploading boom card products to Teachers Pay Teachers to really streamline your process and making sure you're hitting everything that you need to hit. I will put those links in the description for you. Make sure you're checking those out. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. I have my blog, creativekindergartenblog.com. Again, all links will be down below. And yeah, thank you for joining me here. Let me know if you have any questions. You can either send me an email or leave a comment. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me.